So arguably, the Spanish potato omelet, known as tortilla de patatas, is the most popular dish that hails from Spain. Like seriously, it's an omelet where it's kind of like a religion, where everybody that makes it claims their version is the best one, and no one else knows how to make it correctly, even though it's made with the exact same ingredients. Of course, in Spain, we have so many other delicious omelets that are truly underrated, like the one that we're making today. We're talking una tortilla de champiñones y espinacas. Now, the difference between this omelet and the classic one, it doesn't contain potatoes. Instead, it's filled with sauteed mushrooms and spinach to take things to the next level. Folks, this recipe is super easy to make. It comes together in just 30 minutes, and if you serve this omelet next to a crunchy baguette and an ice cold beer, you're gonna have yourself an instant trip to beautiful España. This video is sponsored by Tienda.com. You know that Tienda is an online superstore focusing on selling all things Spain for your home and kitchen, and they've been around since 1996. And like I always tell you, they have a huge selection of artisan Spanish ingredients like queso manchego, the famous jamón serrano and jamón ibérico, Marcona almonds, olives, the beautiful canned seafood from Spain, and all the spices you need to make all your favorite Spanish recipes, among so many other great ingredients. And let me tell you, when it comes to cookware, they have an amazing selection of authentic Spanish paella pans that range in size from 2 servings all the way up to 50 servings, and they even offer classic grilling systems that way you can always perfectly cook your paella. Folks, visit Tienda.com, let them know Albert from Spain on Fork sent you there, and make sure you use coupon code ONFORK during checkout for 10% off your order. Alright, let's just dive right into this recipe. I'm going to heat a large non-stick fry pan with a medium heat. The size of the pan that I'm using is 11 inches in diameter, which is about 32 centimeters. And I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 45 milliliters. While the olive oil is heating, I'm going to roughly chop 1 large onion, and we'll add the chopped onion into the pan with the hot olive oil. And we'll mix the onions around, that way they're coated in that olive oil. And since we cut the onion into larger chunks, you don't have to mix this continuously, but do get in there every minute or so, that way everything evenly sautés. In the meantime, let's get the rest of our ingredients ready. I'm going to cut 2 pounds of white mushrooms, which is 450 grams, each mushroom in half through the stem. Now I'm using smaller mushrooms here, so if yours are larger in size, cut them into 4 evenly sized pieces. Then we'll grab 240 grams of fresh spinach, which is about 8 ounces, and roughly chop it. As always, the spinach I'm using is fresh bagged spinach, but you can also use the frozen stuff here. You just make sure you fully thaw it out beforehand and then pat it completely dry. Alright, let's move back to the fry pan. The onions have been cooking between 6 to 7 minutes, and they're lightly sauteed and nice and translucent. At this point, I'm going to add in the chopped mushrooms, and we'll mix the mushrooms around, that way they're well mixed with the onions and fully coated in the olive oil. Then we'll place the mushrooms in a flat layer, just as best as you can, and cook them for about 1 minute without mixing the mixture. After about 1 minute, we'll mix the mushrooms around, and once again, we'll place the mushrooms in a flat layer and cook them for another minute without mixing the mixture. And we're going to continue to cook our mushrooms in this technique between 4 to 5 minutes. After cooking the mushrooms between 5 to 6 minutes and they're lightly sauteed, I'm going to start adding in the chopped spinach. I like to add it in there in batches, that way it doesn't overflow out of the pan. And we'll mix the spinach around with the rest of the ingredients, that way it can easily wilt. Once all the spinach has been added and it's fully wilted, I'm going to season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it one final mix until everything's well mixed together, and then turn off the heat. For the next step, I'm going to crack in 6 eggs into a large bowl. As always, the eggs that I'm using are cage-free organic, but you can use whatever eggs you like. But like I always tell you, in recipes that are this simple, the higher the quality of the ingredients, the better the overall flavor. Then we'll season the eggs with a kiss of sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll whisk them together until they're well mixed. Then we'll add in the spinach and mushroom mixture into the whisked eggs. And we'll mix it together until everything's well mixed, and then let it sit here for a couple minutes. That way the flavors can develop. In the meantime, I'm going to heat the same fry pan with a low-medium heat and drizzle in 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, which is 15 milliliters. That olive oil is not only going to flavor the outside of the omelet, but it's also going to ensure that the omelet doesn't stick to the pan. After a couple minutes, I'm going to add in the egg mixture into the hot pan, and once again, remember to be on a low-medium heat here. If you use anything higher, your omelet's going to brown too quickly on the outside, and the eggs are not going to fully cook in the inside. And just get in there and mix the mixture around, that way it's on a flat layer. And as the omelet's starting to cook, make sure to run a spatula through the outer edges of the omelet. This is to ensure that it's not sticking to the pan. After about 4 to 5 minutes, it's time to flip the omelet to cook the other side. Now this is a very simple technique. The secret, you want to use a plate that's slightly smaller than the pan, place it over the pan, and in one swift move, flip the pan into the plate. Then we'll slide the omelet back into the pan, and using the back of a spatula, we'll start compacting the omelet from the outer edges towards the center. This is what gives it that classic rounded edge. And we're going to continue to cook the omelet for another 3 to 4 minutes until the eggs are fully cooked through. Once the eggs are fully cooked through, this omelet is ready to go. I'm going to remove the fry pan from the heat, and we'll slide it into a serving dish. Check it out, our Spanish spinach and mushroom omelet is done. Once again known in Spain as una tortilla de champiñones y espinacas. Super easy to make, simple and affordable ingredients, and all done in about 30 minutes. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. As always, folks, now it's time for the moment of truth. Let's see how this omelet tastes. So simple but so good, and all the ingredients beautifully cooked. You know, I'm a huge fan of Spanish tortillas, and this one right here sits up there with the best of them. That filling inside with the sauteed spinach and mushrooms, taking things to the next level. Folks, give this a try. Perfect for any meal of the day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I promise it's going to make it to your weekly menu rotation because it is that good. Really quick before I go, shout out to a couple of my patrons, Catherine Deshays, Karen Reynolds, Leslie Tyson, Alan Sanchez, and Kevin Moran. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. Leave me a comment below, and as always, don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego.